Hello, welcome to this week's midweek vlog. A little bit on the fishing to begin with. The river's open on Friday, and I can't wait. We've got 3 more days left in work. On Friday, be on the rivers. This week's more about the prep. So, like I did in last week's vlog, I'll be getting my reels ready with the line for me trotting at the weekend. Barbel fishing, I'm hoping, is going to feature a lot more this year. So, going to get some spice put on that and get it in the freezer. And also just got this out the freezer tonight, my hemp seed. I'll be splitting that down into session packs ready. So I take 5 kilo bag and split it down into kilo into pint bags ready for the sessions ahead. So I can just grab a pint the day before and put it defrost, and I'm all set to go the next day for the river session. So yeah, this week all about getting the 4 days in work done. I look forward to a few days fishing on the river at the weekend. Okay, so that's a little bit on what I'm looking forward to this week. Last weekend, the weekend just gone, I did a bit of tench fishing, and I've done that for the last couple of weeks. If you've followed me on Facebook, and the links are in the description below to all the social media. Yeah, it was back out for tench, and this Friday's video is all on tench fishing. So 6:30, I think, or 6 o'clock I've set it to this Friday. There'll be a tench fishing video up on the channel, and yeah, it's something that I've enjoyed doing. The water's a beautiful water, and the sun comes up over the water and it's dead peaceful. Water that I have enjoyed fishing. There's that video coming up this Friday. Next week will probably be a river video, and then the fishing that I did on Saturday will be up the next week. So yeah, plenty of content to come on the channel and good variety as well. So that's about as good as a start gets. The carp and a tench both in the net before the sun literally just got over the horizon. Sunday mornings, now that's what I call a Sunday morning. Right, just before we get into any questions this week, if you've got any questions on any of me fishing or topics in fishing that you want featuring on the blog, on this midweek blog, just pop them in the comments below and I'll add them to the list. And the first question this week coming from a blogger asking about, you know, he was writing a blog on how product reviews work. Personally, I've never wrote to any companies asking if they want to work together. They've always got in touch with me via the blog's email. Quite simply, they say, are you in PR companies, or the company in itself will say, are you interested in working together? And they will send you out products to review. You look at them, write your review, and there are little perks in blogging that, you know, you can do. And yeah, if I can relate them back to me fishing, then I do them. Over the time I've had some right weird ones sent to me, like, you know, kayaks and hammocks and stuff like that. If I can't relate them back to fishing, I just don't do the review and say politely, no, it's not really something I would do. Coincidentally enough, this week a company have got in touch, and it just worked out nicely that this company got in touch for this question. The company we are shotdeadinahead.com. I'll drop a link to their company in the description, and what they do is merchandise like t-shirts, mugs, etc., you know, with humour to them. They sent me out, I just said send me out a box of your general products. They sent me the t-shirt I've got on here, another t-shirt like the Evolution chain, and these would be fantastic, you know, for Father's Day presents. The Evolution chain, and at the end is an angler casting a line, which, you know, quite funny. The next things he sent out were 2 mugs, and just chuck the box down there. And one of these will be staying at home and the other will be going in to work for sure. The first one, it's a fishing thing you wouldn't understand, yeah, so you can do that. Take that, leave that one into work or stay at home. And the second one is I'd rather be fishing, and that one will definitely be coming into work with me, because that is me to a T in work. I sit there wishing every day I'd rather be fishing, so that one definitely will be coming into work with me. So yeah, that's a little bit on product reviews and how they work. Generally how they've worked for me in the past, and yeah, there's one that I'll be on the written blog shortly, that I've got to review in the coming days to write the blog review for. So yeah, links in the description below to their company, and thank you very much guys for getting in touch. great products. On to the next question. Right, question 2 was all about method feeders and my setups, what I use for them. The method feeders first, I use 2 different types depending on what rods I'm using. If I'm using my carp rods, I will use that type of method feeder up to about, what's this one, 45 gram. Obviously the rods are a lot stronger, and I'm generally leaving the rod in there a lot longer so I can pile a load of pellet around that, bury me hook bait in it, cast it in, and generally I'm going to put a lot of pellet around that, and I can hold it, and it's going to sit there a lot longer than if I'm fishing, say, the smaller method feeder, which is this one. And I use these Guru ones, 24 gram, if I'm fishing the tip. Obviously they're a lot smaller, a lot lighter, the rod can cast them easy. And the reason why I use these is 2 reasons really. If I'm going to be sitting a bit longer for the bite, I will use the mould, and quite simply push the mould in, the mould fits, pull it out, and you have a ready-made feeder. But if you're on a commercial and it's really fast and you want to be in as quick, fast as possible, you can quite simply scoop up some pellets and push them in with your thumb, and yeah, cast it straight, put the hook bait on the top and cast it straight back out. So generally they're the 2 types of method feeder that I'll use. This one for the carp fishing, and this one for the tip, if I'm fishing the tip. And they're the 2 that I use. In all the videos that you'll see, it'll be one of them 2. The next question I had was on obviously my general setup. There's a lot of method feeder fishing on the channel, and generally this is the setup that I use. Because the waters I fish are not really, I've got quite big carping, up to 20 pound. Most of the time I have 12 pound main line, and then that goes, I don't know if, for the basics that people might not know, you thread that on your line, and as you can see it's hollow through the middle, so the line comes in this end and out the bottom, and that lies on your main line as a running feeder. Below that I have a Corum quick change bead. It's important to make sure that your bead is bigger than the hole in the bottom, so that hits the bead and stops. These beads, fantastic. A pack will last you all year. And this is the only type of fishing I don't make my own hook lengths in. I always buy Corum quick stop links, 4 inches, £10 line to a size 10 hooker. I found the best. Obviously it's only a short length, so you want it to be strong, and that's just what I use in all the videos that you see for the carp, especially the waters where it's carp up to 20 pound, 12 pound main line, method feeder, a Corum link, Corum stop, and these quick stop links are all I use. And I leave the rod set up, and when I get to the bank I just want to be fishing as quickly as possible. I want it to be relaxing, that type of fishing, and these just aid it. The hook onto the quick change bead and you're away fishing. So that's the method feeder fishing for you, and how I do it, and the general method feeders that I use. So question 3 was all about what's the biggest mistake I see people making on the bank. One thing that I see on the bank that I scratch my head at sometimes is when you see anglers turning up on the bank and they pile in a load of bait, and I'm talking like 2 or 3, 4 tins of sweet corn, or a load of bait. I don't understand how you can turn up at a venue and know on that day how it's going to feed. Once all that bait's in, it's in. And I've lost count on the amount of times that, especially it seems to be on commercial venues where there's a lot of carp and people think you've got to pile it in to get the fish in. I don't understand. Feed, once it's in, you can't take it out. Feed the swim lightly, build the swim up, and yeah, if it's a bite of chuck, put a bit more bait in and judge the swim as you fish it. Examples I've seen that have blown me away. I remember fishing Flushing Meadows fishery one day, and the guy set up just up for me, and he put in 4 of the big tins of sweet corn right down the middle. Don't get me wrong, his swim was like a jacuzzi. There was bubbles everywhere. There must have been loads of fish in his swim, but there was that much food in, he didn't get a bite. I was fishing 5-10 yards up the bank, down the margin, with a bit of luncheon meat and pellet, and it was one a chuck, because you put in the right amount of feed. I'm a great believer that the right amount of feed in the right place is always better than a huge amount in the wrong place. And yeah, that's the biggest mistake I see sometimes, is people presuming that they need to pile it in and it's going to be a bite of chuck, when in reality you should really fish the swim on the day and judge it on the day how it's going to fish. So yeah, that is probably the biggest mistake I see people making when they get to the bank, and it's all about feeding. That is the last question for this week's blog. As I said, if you've got any more, drop them in the link in the description below, or in the comments below, sorry, and yeah, I'll add them to the list. Thank you for watching. Tight lines in your own fishing, and if you're out on the river this weekend, good luck, and yeah, catch you all next time.